Well, some of them, the granite in the Great Pyramid comes from more than 500 miles to the south. Now, Egyptologists will tell you that, they could move heavy blocks because they put them on wet sand and they push them along on wet sand. If you look at the famous King's Chamber, its walls and its roof.
For thousands of years, it's been one of the world's great mysteries. Just how were the pyramids built so deep in the Egyptian desert?
The Great Pyramid of Giza, built thousands of years ago, has been a source of fascination and mystery for centuries. The pyramid's sheer scale, precision engineering, and the fact that it has withstood the test of time have left many wondering how the ancient Egyptians managed to build such an incredible structure. Recent discoveries have shed new light on the construction of the pyramids, and it is now believed that a long-buried branch of the Nile River played a crucial role in the transportation of the massive stone blocks used to build the pyramids. But how did the ancient Egyptians move and place these blocks with such precision? And what other secrets do these ancient structures hold? Let's find out. The Great Pyramid of Giza. The Great Pyramid of Giza is hands down the biggest Egyptian pyramid out there. It was basically the final resting place for Pharaoh Khufu, ruling big time during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom. They kicked off building this edifice around 2006 BC and kept at it for about 27 years straight. Fast forward to today, it's still standing tall as the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and it's the only one that hasn't crumbled to dust. Evidence reveals how the pyramids were actually built, a feat of engineering that has fascinated people for centuries. They kicked off building this edifice around 2006 BC and kept at it for about 27 years straight. Now, it's not just any old pyramid, it's the star of the Giza Pyramid Complex, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site called Memphis and its necropolis. You'll find it at the northeast end of the trio of main pyramids at Giza. Originally, this beast towered at about 481 feet, making it the tallest thing humans ever built for over 3,800 years. Over time, some of that smooth white limestone outer layer got damaged, knocking it down to a still impressive 454.4 feet. Inside, it's like a maze of chambers and mysteries. There are 3 main ones. The lowest was a bit of a work in progress, and the Queen's Chamber and King's Chamber are where things get fancy, complete with a granite sarcophagus. Rumor has it that Khufu's right-hand man, Hemiunu, was the mastermind behind it all, but there are a whole bunch of theories out there. Around the pyramid, there's a whole funeral package deal going on. 2 mortuary temples linked by a causeway, some VIP tombs for Khufu's crew, including a few smaller pyramids for his wives, and even a hidden gem, a buried solar boat. Within the pyramid, there are 3 confirmed chambers, one of which houses Khufu's remains, while the others serve different purposes. However, rumors suggest the presence of hidden chambers, sparking curiosity and debate. The construction of these ancient structures raises a significant question. How did the Egyptians manage to build such monumental architecture, standing at 180 meters tall and 230 meters long at its base, without the aid of advanced machinery? Various theories have emerged over time, with some claiming new evidence has shed light on the pyramid's construction. This has led to a mix of credible explanations and speculative ideas. In this exploration, we will delve into the theories surrounding the building of these colossal pyramids, separating fact from fiction. The concept of the rolling blocks theory. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Egyptians built huge pyramids using different materials like limestone, granite, and mud bricks. They used a massive 2.3 million bricks, weighing 6 million tons. The bricks were not all the same size or shape, but that didn't stop them from creating something amazing. They used local limestone for most of the pyramid, but for the outside, they wanted it to look extra special. So, they brought in sparkling white limestone from a place called Tura and huge granite blocks from Aswan. The traditional theory suggests they used a slippery ramp and sleds, but one physicist had a eureka moment while watching a TV special. Joseph West's epiphany led him to test his theory with a small-scale experiment. By strapping wooden rods to a limestone block, he created a makeshift wheel that could be rolled with ease. The team found that rolling required about the same force as the slippery road method, but with less hassle and road damage. While the rolling theory is still speculative, it's an intriguing alternative to the traditional sled method. Imagine the Egyptians using ship-sized masts to roll the blocks into place, without the need for lubricants or excessive road maintenance. Once the Egyptians had effectively relocated the colossal stones from the quarry, their attention turned to the daunting task ahead, hauling these 2.5-ton blocks, equivalent in weight to a pickup truck, to the construction site. This was no easy task, especially since the desert sand and gravel made it impossible to use wheels. However, the Egyptians were resourceful and found a way. They likely used wooden sleds and ropes to slowly drag the blocks across the terrain. Some historians think they used special sleds that fit around the blocks, with a team of 8 men working together to roll them along like a giant keg of beer. Others believe they used wooden rollers, another clever solution to this ancient problem. For long-distance transportation, the Egyptians ingeniously loaded blocks onto barges and navigated them down the Nile, even digging canals to bring them closer to the construction site. Egyptologists marvel at the staggering pace of progress, estimating that workers positioned approximately 300 stones each day during pyramid construction. Various theories captivate the imagination regarding how these massive blocks were maneuvered into place. Lever systems, ramps, and even kites spark intrigue. As laborers carefully placed stones in the pyramid's heart, talented artisans delicately carved out chambers, passages, and shafts inside. These areas weren't just about function, they doubled as canvases for stunning artistic displays. The walls of the chambers were decked out with intricate designs, showcasing the sheer skill of ancient craftsmen. Ramp theory. One of the most talked about ideas concerning the Great Pyramid revolves around what's called the ramp theory. The ramp theory is a widely accepted explanation for the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. It proposes that the ancient Egyptians built a series of ramps and inclined planes to move and place the massive stone blocks into position. In ancient Egypt, around 580 BC, Pharaoh Khufu launched a massive project to build a colossal pyramid, the greatest architectural achievement of its time. The construction site was a bustling hub of activity, where a vast army of workers labored relentlessly to move and place enormous stone blocks with precision, fueled by their collective vision of creating an iconic wonder that would defy the test of time. French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin has spent years developing the internal spiral ramp theory. He proposes that a spiral ramp was built inside the pyramid, allowing workers to haul the blocks up using a combination of manual labor and simple machines. The construction process was a gradual one. The pyramid's core was built using a central ramp that spiraled around the structure. As the pyramid grew taller, the ramp was extended and rebuilt multiple times, with the slope becoming increasingly gentler to accommodate the increasing height. The ramp was likely built in a zigzag pattern, allowing workers to pull the blocks up using a combination of manual labor and simple machines. The stones were probably placed on sleds or rollers to reduce friction and make movement easier. But how did they move the blocks up the ramp? Scientists have discovered that the ancient Egyptians likely used water and sand to move the blocks up the ramps. The water reduced friction, while the sand provided traction. Historical accounts from Herodotus and Diodorus Siculus provide further clues. They describe the Egyptians using short wooden logs as levers and earthen ramps to raise the stones. Archaeologists have found evidence of the ramp's existence on the pyramid's surface, including faint traces of the ramp's foundation and the remains of a spiral tunnel that matches the expected path of the ramp. Recent discoveries at the ancient quarry of Hatnub have also shed light on the construction process. Archaeologists have found the remains of a system used to haul massive stone blocks into place, which may have been used to build the Great Pyramid. Water shaft theory. Another enduring enigma surrounding this ancient wonder is the question of how the Egyptians managed to move massive stone blocks into place with such precision and accuracy. The water shaft theory offers a fascinating explanation, one that has garnered significant attention and debate among historians and archaeologists. As we have established, the limestone and granite blocks were transported from distant quarries to the pyramid's construction site via the Nile River. From there, the blocks were effortlessly floated from a main vessel to smaller boats, which navigated the canals and shafts with precision, delivering the rocks to the pyramid's core. The water shaft theory proposes that the Egyptians built a series of canals, waterways, and shafts to facilitate the construction process. A central water shaft, connected to the Nile River, provided a constant supply of water that powered a sophisticated system of pulleys, levers, and ramps. As the pyramid grew taller, the water shaft was extended, allowing workers to haul the blocks up using a combination of manual labor and simple machines. The water reduced friction, making it easier to move the massive stones into place. The Egyptian skill in irrigation, honed in the desert, made their construction process very efficient. While we learned more about the water shaft theory, some experts think it might have played an even bigger role in building the pyramid. Some even believe it was more complex than we thought. To build the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Egyptians came up with a clever plan. Instead of just dropping off blocks near the site, they built a moat around the base. This allowed them to move blocks into place with ease and precision. It also prevented blocks from getting stuck and made the process faster. With workers positioned along the pyramid's edges, they could use water and ramps to lift blocks into place. This made it easier to position them precisely. Some historians think water might have been used to lift rocks to higher levels, but this is still a topic of debate. It would have required a lot of planning and labor, and there was a risk of damage if done incorrectly. The water pump theory. The water pump theory is a separate concept from the water shaft theory as previously mentioned. This innovative idea proposes that the ancient Egyptians built a sophisticated water pump system within the Great Pyramid of Giza. This system would have been used to distribute water throughout the pyramid, creating a network of fountains and springs that would have been a marvel of ancient engineering. The theory suggests that the pump was located at the base of the pyramid, where it would have been powered by a combination of manual labor and simple machinery. From there, water would have been pumped through a series of canals and aqueducts, reaching even the highest chambers of the pyramid. This would have provided a reliable source of water for the pharaoh's final rest, as well as for the thousands of workers who labored to build the pyramid. The water pump theory is a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of the ancient Egyptians. It shows that they were capable of developing complex solutions to the challenges they faced, and that they were driven by a desire to create something truly remarkable. While the theory remains a topic of debate among scholars, it is clear that the water pump theory is a fascinating piece of history that continues to capture our imagination. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the golden era of pyramid construction, a monumental task confronted the workers on how to transport those massive stones. It was a challenge that demanded innovative solutions. However, evidence reveals how the pyramids were actually built. As the sun beat down on the desert sands, a team of skilled workers gathered around a massive limestone block, their faces etched with concern. The challenge before them seemed insurmountable: how to move this gargantuan stone into place without the aid of modern machinery. But these ancient Egyptians were not ones to back down from a challenge. With remarkable ingenuity, they devised a plan to roll the massive stone like a giant marble across the desert floor. First, they created a smooth pathway, polishing the sand to a copper-like sheen to guide the boulder along its journey. The construction site was a hive of activity, with workers pushing and pulling in perfect harmony, their efforts fueled by a lively tune and the shared dream of building a wonder of the ancient world. As the stone began to move, the workers' faces lit up with a sense of pride and accomplishment. They weren't just building a pyramid, they were showing off their cleverness, skill, and hard work. As the pyramid took shape, it was clear that this would be an amazing wonder that would last forever. Now put yourself in the shoes of those ancient workers. How would you contribute to this monumental effort? What ideas would you bring to the table to help overcome the challenges they faced? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and together, let's uncover the secrets of the pyramid's construction. Rock sculpting technique. The ancient Egyptians' mastery of rock shaping was a crucial aspect of the pyramid's construction. With a keen eye for detail, they skillfully transformed raw limestone and granite blocks into perfectly fitted pieces, forming the pyramid's core. This ancient practice, honed over generations, allowed them to achieve unprecedented precision. As the pyramid rose, the Egyptians' rock-shaping skills became increasingly refined. They developed a deep understanding of the stone's textures, manipulating them to fit together seamlessly. The process was labor-intensive, requiring patience, dedication, and a passion for perfection. The rock-shaping process began with selecting the finest blocks from nearby quarries. The Egyptians then used copper tools to rough out the shapes, gradually refining the surfaces with sand, water, and stone. Anchoring techniques were employed to split the rocks along precise lines, creating a snug fit. Experienced stoneworkers carefully measured and marked each block, ensuring a uniform structure. The rocks were then transported to the construction site, where they were meticulously placed, often with barely a hair's breadth between them. As the pyramid grew, so did the Egyptians' expertise. They developed innovative techniques, passing their knowledge down through generations. The Quarrying Theory. As we mentioned earlier, the Egyptians' ability to cut and prepare the stones for the pyramid is a remarkable achievement. However, it's important to consider the logistics of such a massive operation. The construction site itself would have been too crowded and chaotic to accommodate the stone-cutting process. So where did they actually prepare the stones for the pyramid? The answer lies in the rock quarries, where the Egyptians would have had the space and resources to work on the stones. It's believed that the construction team spent countless hours in these quarries, using a variety of tools to shape and polish the stones to perfection. Once the stones were ready, they would have been transported to the construction site on ships or floats, where they would be stacked into place. What's even more impressive is that the Egyptians didn't just rely on basic copper tools to get the job done. They had to develop more advanced techniques and tools to work with the harder stones, like granite and basalt. This required a tremendous amount of creativity, innovation, and sheer labor power. The fact that the Egyptians were able to accomplish this feat is a testament to their remarkable work ethic and dedication to their craft. They were able to overcome countless challenges and obstacles to build one of the most impressive architectural wonders of the ancient world. Orion Correlation Theory. It's pretty obvious that the ancient Egyptians were heavily influenced by the cosmos when building their iconic pyramids. Back then, gods and goddesses held serious sway over people's beliefs, and rulers were all about appeasing them. The Orion Correlation Theory proposes a fascinating connection between the pyramids of Giza and the stars of the Orion constellation. This concept, developed by Robert Bauval and Graham Hancock, suggests that the ancient Egyptians deliberately aligned their monumental structures with the celestial bodies they revered. The theory draws parallels between the pyramid's layout and the pattern of stars in Orion's belt. The pyramid of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure correspond to the stars Al-Nitak, Al-Nilam, and Mintaka, respectively. This alignment is not merely coincidental. It reflects the Egyptians' profound understanding of astronomy and their desire to mirror the divine order on Earth. The correlation goes beyond the pyramid's placement. The Nile River, symbolizing the Milky Way, flows from the source of the stars, just as the pyramids seem to rise from the Earth. The ancient Egyptians believed that the pharaohs ascended to the afterlife, becoming one with the stars. By replicating the celestial pattern, they bridged the mortal and divine realms. This theory offers a compelling explanation for the pyramid's precise orientation and layout. It also highlights the Egyptians' sophisticated knowledge of astronomy, which guided their architectural achievements. As we gaze upon the pyramids, we are reminded of the enduring connection between human creativity, the natural world, and the mysteries of the universe. The Golden Ratio Theory. Let's venture further down the rabbit hole, exploring the fascinating connection between the Great Pyramid of Giza and the fundamental math of our world. The Great Pyramid of Khufu is believed by many to have been designed based on the Golden Ratio, a mathematical principle in which the ratio of the sum of the quantities to the larger quantity is the same as the ratio of the larger quantity to the smaller one. This belief is based on the idea that the cross-section of the pyramid forms a golden triangle, with a ratio of the height to half the base equal to the golden ratio of 1.618. This theory has been supported by various scholars and pyramidologists, who point to the pyramid's precise dimensions and orientation as evidence of its adherence to the golden ratio. For example, the pyramid's base is a near-perfect square, with each side aligning almost perfectly with the four cardinal directions. While the golden ratio theory is widely accepted, some argue that it is simply a coincidence, and that the pyramid's dimensions were determined by more practical considerations. However, the presence of the golden ratio in other aspects of Egyptian art and architecture, such as the design of temples and the depiction of the human figure, suggests that it may have held significant cultural and spiritual meaning for the ancient Egyptians. The eight sides proposition. While the Pyramid of Khufu has long been believed to have 4 sides, a lesser-known theory proposes that it actually has 8 sides. This idea suggests that the pyramid's 4 visible sides are 4 triangles, each with a slight indentation at the center, creating a subtle octagonal shape. Proponents of the 8 sides proposition point to various pieces of evidence, including aerial photographs and laser scans, which appear to show a faint outline of 8 sides. They also argue that the pyramid's base is actually an octagon, with each side aligning almost perfectly with the 4 cardinal directions and the 4 intermediate directions. This theory has sparked debate among pyramidologists and architects, with some arguing that the indentations are simply a result of natural weathering and erosion. However, others believe that the 8 sides proposition reveals a deeper level of sophistication and symbolism in the pyramid's design. The octagonal shape has significant cultural and spiritual meaning in many ancient traditions, representing balance, harmony, and the interconnectedness of opposites. If the Great Pyramid indeed has 8 sides, it would suggest that the ancient Egyptians were aware of these symbolic associations and incorporated them into their design. While the 8 sides proposition remains a topic of debate, it offers a fascinating new perspective on the Great Pyramid's architecture and the ingenuity of its creators. The Cardinal Direction Theory. The ancient Egyptians' mastery of mathematics is evident in their impressive construction skills and precise placement of the pyramids. What's even more breathtaking is how they aligned these massive structures with the 4 cardinal directions, achieving an accuracy that's almost unsettling. While we would rely on advanced technology to achieve such precision today, the Egyptians accomplished it without these tools, showcasing their ingenuity. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, is aligned with true north to within 0.067 degrees, a feat that's hard to fathom. It's believed that they may have used the stars or surveying techniques to achieve this level of accuracy. Whatever their method, it's clear that they succeeded with remarkable precision. The Egyptians' unique pyramid design has also sparked curiosity, with theories suggesting that they drew inspiration from the Ben Benin stone, a mythical mound that rose from the primordial waters. This ancient symbol is depicted in Egyptian art as both a pointed structure, potentially inspiring the pyramids themselves, and a rounded shape that may have influenced other structures and capstones. The Ben Benin theory offers a fascinating glimpse into the creative vision behind these ancient wonders. The Dendera light bulb theory. The Dendera light bulb theory is a fascinating concept that has sparked intense debate among historians and archaeologists. This theory proposes that the ancient Egyptians had access to a form of electricity or advanced technology, which they used to power devices and lighting systems within the pyramids. At the heart of this theory lies the Dendera relief, an ancient Egyptian artifact depicting a mysterious lamp-like object with a snake-like filament. Some believe this relic represents a form of ancient lighting, potentially even an electric light bulb. The relief is accompanied by other cryptic symbols and hieroglyphs, which some interpret as electrical diagrams or schematics. Proponents of the Dendera light bulb theory argue that the ancient Egyptians must have had a sophisticated understanding of electricity to design and build such a device. They point to the presence of copper and other conductive materials in the pyramids, suggesting that these may have been used to create electrical circuits. While the theory is intriguing, many experts remain skeptical, attributing the relief to religious or symbolic significance rather than a literal depiction of a lighting device. The ancient power plant theory. The Egyptian pyramids are famous for being tombs for pharaohs, but some people think they might be more than that. They believe the pyramids could be giant energy devices that use the sun and moon's energy. This idea might seem strange, but it's interesting to think about. The stones used to build the pyramids have special properties that could store energy. However, we don't know how the Egyptians might have used this energy. This idea comes from ancient texts and symbols that describe the pyramids as powerful energy sources. The pyramids' design and layout also suggest that they might be meant to harness and direct energy. The ancient power plant theory offers a new way of thinking about the pyramid's purpose. It challenges what we thought we knew about ancient Egyptian technology and encourages us to learn more about our ancestors' ingenuity. Even if this theory isn't proven, it still inspires us to explore the pyramid's secrets. The storage theory. A revolutionary idea has taken shape, proposing a hidden purpose behind these towering marvels. The storage theory reveals a surprising twist. These colossal structures, once thought to be solely tombs for pharaohs, were used for storing grains and food supplies during times of scarcity. This idea gained traction when Ben Carson, a United States presidential candidate, voiced his support for it in 2015. He likened it to the biblical tale of Joseph, who advised the pharaoh to store food in preparation for a famine. However, despite its appeal, both historical records and archaeological findings indicate that the pyramids were constructed long before the events described in the Bible, making this theory unlikely. The pyramids' vast interior spaces and sophisticated engineering could have been utilized for storing food, helping ancient Egypt weather times of famine. However, most historians and archaeologists agree that the pyramids were designed specifically for funerary purposes, with their internal chambers and passageways aligned to facilitate the pharaoh's journey into the afterlife. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the storage theory remains an intriguing concept that sparks imagination and curiosity. The Atlantis Theory. The Atlantis Theory is a captivating concept that has been intertwined with the mystique of the pyramids for centuries. This intriguing idea proposes that the ancient Egyptian structures, particularly the Great Pyramid of Giza, hold the secrets of the lost city of Atlantis. According to Plato's dialogues Timaeus and Critias, Atlantis was a powerful and advanced civilization that existed in the distant past. The city was said to be the epitome of wisdom, wealth, and knowledge, but its inhabitants eventually became corrupt and greedy, leading to its downfall. Proponents of the Atlantis theory believe that the pyramids were built by the Atlanteans, who had escaped the destruction of their city and sought to preserve their knowledge and culture in Egypt. They point to the pyramids' sophisticated architecture, precise engineering, and alleged similarities to other megalithic structures around the world as evidence of an ancient global civilization. The Great Pyramid, with its alleged Hall of Records, is thought to be a repository of Atlantean knowledge, hidden away for safekeeping. Some believe that this hall contains ancient texts, artifacts, and technologies that hold the secrets of Atlantis and its advanced understanding of the universe. The Underground Theory. A big discovery was made under the Great Pyramid of Giza. A hidden cave was found, and this sparked a lot of interest. Beneath the majestic Great Pyramid of Giza, a hidden world of tunnels and chambers has long been rumored to exist. The idea suggests that the ancient Egyptians built a vast network of passageways and rooms beneath the pyramid, hiding secrets and treasures from the world above. Some believe that these subterranean spaces hold the keys to understanding the pyramid's true purpose and the beliefs of its builders. As we go into the depths of this theory, we find ourselves in a labyrinth of possibilities. Some propose that the tunnels lead to hidden chambers containing ancient artifacts and knowledge, while others speculate that they might even connect to other pyramids or sacred sites. The underground theory also raises questions about the pyramid's construction. Did the ancient Egyptians build the pyramid from the inside out, creating a hollow structure with hidden chambers and passageways? Or did they construct the pyramid on top of an existing network of tunnels and caves? While the truth remains buried beneath the pyramid's imposing presence, the allure of the underground theory refuses to fade. Ramps and sandbags. Theory. The ramps and sandbags theory is a fascinating explanation for the construction of the ancient Egyptian pyramids. This innovative approach proposes that the pyramids were built using a series of ramps and sandbags, rather than a single, massive ramp. The process began with the construction of a central ramp made from sandbags filled with sand and stacked to create a sturdy foundation. As the pyramid grew taller, additional ramps were built, branching off from the central ramp like a giant staircase. These ramps were also made from sandbags, which provided a stable and slippery surface for the workers to haul the massive stone blocks into place. The sandbags were a crucial element in the construction process, as they allowed the workers to easily slide the blocks up the ramps. The ramps were built in a zigzag pattern, which enabled the workers to use simple pulleys and levers to maneuver the blocks into place. This ingenious system allowed the ancient Egyptians to construct the pyramids without the need for modern machinery or an enormous workforce. As the pyramid neared completion, the ramps were dismantled and the sandbags were removed, leaving behind a sleek and towering monument to the ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians. The ramps and sandbags theory is a shred of evidence of the creativity and resourcefulness of these ancient builders, who were able to achieve incredible feats using only the simplest of tools and materials. The Lost Capstone. Lastly, as we conclude this video, were you aware that the capstone of the Great Pyramid of Giza is absent? Rather than culminating in a pointed peak, it features a flat top, offering ample space to those who ascend its heights. In ancient times, a special edition called the capstone was affixed to the summit of the pyramid. Resembling a miniature version of the pyramid itself, albeit smaller, the capstone held immense significance as it imbued the pyramid with its true purpose. They served as cherished relics, symbolizing the authority of the individual entombed within. Considering that a pharaoh commissioned the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, his capstone would have held profound importance. Expectedly, it would have been one of the final components installed near the completion of the pyramid's construction. Yet, puzzlingly, it remains absent from the Great Pyramid of Giza, shrouded in mystery to this day. The capstone was said to have mesmerizing powers, reflecting moonbeams at night and radiating a dazzling glow during the day. Its polished surface could be seen from a distance, making it a striking feature of the pyramid. Some believe that the capstone might have been made of gold, which would have made it an invaluable treasure. It's possible that one of the workers or leaders, tempted by its value, stole the capstone. But here's the intriguing part. Some historians suggest that the capstone might never have existed in the first place. If that's the case, it raises a baffling question. Why build such a colossal structure without its crowning glory? This enigma has been debated for centuries, with ancient records from the time of Jesus mentioning the capstone's absence. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.